Annie's Gourd, or Red Weir Island, lies in the heart of the Menai Strait, a place where the waters rush swiftly between Gwynedd and Anglesey, North Wales. The island, small and tranquil, sits between the Menai Suspension Bridge and the Britannia Bridge, a patch of land so secluded yet filled with an enigmatic past that has captivated both locals and visitors for centuries. In 1590, the island was first mentioned in records, leased by the Diocese of Bangor for fishing. The fishing weirs built around 1842 to trap fish as the tide receded are still visible today, relics of a time when the island was not just a quiet retreat, but a bustling center of industry. The surrounding swellies, with their perilous currents, were a fisherman's dream, but they were also a place of hidden dangers that would come to define the island's eerie legend. It was in the late 19th century, after the island was sold into private hands in 1888, that Annie's Gourd gained its most sinister reputation. The whitebait industry flourished, attracting tourists eager to taste the famous gourd whitebait tea, a delicacy made from fried whitebait served with bread and tea. But as the number of visitors grew, so too did the strange occurrences surrounding the island. The most chilling tale began one foggy evening when a fisherman named Richard Owens set out alone to catch fish from the weirs. He was an experienced fisherman, known for his bravery in navigating the dangerous tides of the swellies. But that night, he never returned. His boat was found adrift the next morning, and there was no sign of Richard. Despite a thorough search of the island and the surrounding waters, no trace of him was found. Locals whispered that Richard had fallen victim to the island's curse, the same curse that had claimed others before him. A year passed, and still, no one could explain Richard's disappearance. But then a series of strange events began to unfold. Fishermen who had once worked near the island reported seeing shadows on the shore late at night, figures that moved between the trees and the unmistakable sound of footsteps in the sand, footsteps that were never followed by the sound of retreating steps. One evening, a sailor from a passing ship claimed to have seen a lantern flickering on the island, its light glowing bright against the mist. But when he made his way toward the island, the light vanished, leaving only the swirling fog behind. Rumors of an ancient curse began to spread. Some believe the island was haunted by the restless spirit of a young woman, a former resident who had fallen in love with a fisherman centuries ago. Their love was forbidden, as the woman's family had arranged for her to marry a wealthy lord. Desperate to be together, the lovers fled to Annie's Gourd, but tragedy struck when the woman was swept away by the fast-moving currents. Her lover, heartbroken and driven mad by grief, wandered the island until he too disappeared, his body never found. Conwy, a picturesque town nestled along the River Conwy in North Wales, is a place where history and natural beauty seamlessly intertwine. Renowned for its medieval castle, which towers over the town, Conwy has long been a symbol of Wales's rich heritage. The castle, built between 1283 and 1289 by King Edward I during his conquest of Wales, stands as a powerful testament to the nation's past. However, beneath the charm of this charming town, there lies a mysterious side, one that is imbued with a sense of eerie tranquility and whispered secrets. For those who visit, there is an unsettling enchantment in the air, as though the town itself is suspended between the past and the present, cloaked in a dreamlike, otherworldly atmosphere. The town's cobbled streets wind through historic buildings, each one seemingly holding a tale of its own. As you stroll along these narrow lanes, with the haunting echoes of the past echoing through the ancient walls, you can almost hear the whispers of centuries gone by. There's a peculiar stillness here, a strange serenity that lingers over the town like a fog. It's as though time itself has slowed down, as if Conwy is suspended in an eternal twilight, where the line between reality and the supernatural is blurred. One of the most fascinating and chilling aspects of Conwy is its medieval castle, which seems to possess a life of its own. Though the fortress has stood for centuries, it's more than just a symbol of military might and royal power. Local legends speak of shadowy figures that wander its ramparts at night, their ghostly forms flickering in the moonlight. These are said to be the souls of those who perished in the castle's dungeons or were lost to the waves of war, their restless spirits still haunting the stone walls. It's said that on quiet, moonlit nights, you can hear the faint sounds of footsteps echoing through the castle halls, even when no one else is around. In the village below, the atmosphere is equally eerie. The quaint shops and lively markets, which normally exude a cheerful energy, take on a different air when the sun sets. A sense of anticipation fills the streets, as though the town itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. People often report strange occurrences, lights flickering in old windows, doors creaking open by themselves, and the feeling of being watched, even when no one is there. Some say the spirits of the past still roam the streets, watching over the town they once inhabited. Not far from the castle, there is a place known as Conwy Morfa, a site believed to be tied to the origins of Welsh folklore and the mystical forces that shaped the country's history. Some claim that on certain nights, the winds in this area carry strange, almost melodic whispers, the voices of those who lived and died long ago, calling out across the ages. It's a place of deep significance, where the past lingers in the air, heavy with the weight of ancient secrets. Despite its eerie qualities, Conwy is a town that holds a unique kind of beauty. The combination of its rich history, its scenic waterfront, and its mysterious, almost ethereal atmosphere creates a sense of magic that captivates all who visit. Whether you are wandering through the cobbled streets, exploring the ancient castle, or simply soaking in the vibrant culture of the town, there is a sense that Conwy is more than just a place. It is a living, breathing entity, steeped in the memories and whispers of the past. Denbigh, perched atop a hill overlooking the Clwyd Valley in North Wales, is a town steeped in both history and mystery. At the heart of this town stands Denbigh Castle, an imposing structure built in 1282 under the orders of King Edward I. Designed by the renowned architect James of St. George, the castle was not only a military stronghold, but also a symbol of English dominance over the Welsh, especially during the late 13th century. What makes Denbigh Castle truly unique is its triple-towered gatehouse, a feature designed to both intimidate and protect. With robust walls and towering fortifications, the castle once stood as an impregnable fortress, capable of withstanding even the fiercest sieges. One such siege occurred during the Welsh uprising led by Madog ap Llywelyn in 1294 to 1295, where the castle's walls were tested by the might of the Welsh rebels. Though now a ruin, Denbigh Castle retains much of its grandeur, offering visitors a glimpse into the turbulent medieval past of Wales. It's a destination cherished by history enthusiasts who come to explore the ancient stone walls and absorb the breathtaking views of the surrounding countryside. However, there's a darker tale that lingers within the walls of Denbigh Castle, one that has persisted for centuries. The castle, though a fortress of strength, has long been rumored to house not only the spirits of soldiers and royalty, but also the restless souls of those wronged during its long history. Local legend speaks of a cursed chamber hidden deep within the castle. It is said to be the place where the souls of those who suffered the harshest fates during the castle's sieges were trapped. During the medieval conflicts, prisoners who were captured and tortured were often left to die within the dungeon's cold stone walls. These poor souls, their lives ending in such misery, are said to have never found peace. On stormy nights, the locals claim to hear strange, unsettling sounds drifting from the castle ruins, the faint cries of those who perished in the dark corners of the stronghold. The sound of chains rattling, ghostly footsteps echoing across the stone floors, and soft, mournful wails are reported to fill the air, particularly near the castle's tower ruins. Some say that if you venture into the castle's grounds after dusk, especially on a moonless night, you can feel the weight of the past closing in. The air grows heavy, thick with the lingering presence of spirits trapped in a time long gone, and if you stand near the gatehouse, looking out over the valley, the wind will carry whispers of those long dead, speaking their names, recounting their suffering. There is also the eerie tale of the Soul Keeper, a mysterious figure seen by few but remembered by many. Dressed in the tattered remnants of medieval armor, this figure is said to roam the ruins at night, guiding lost souls back to the chamber where they were imprisoned, never to escape. The Soul Keeper, with hollow eyes and a silent, ghostly presence, is said to ensure that no spirit finds peace, keeping them bound to the castle for all eternity. Eber Falls, also known as Rhea de Fort, is a breathtaking waterfall nestled in the Carnarvon mountain range of Snowdonia National Park, North Wales. The falls cascade down from the river Afon Goch, plummeting about 120 feet into a deep, serene pool below. Surrounded by lush greenery and rugged landscapes, it's no surprise that Aber Falls has become a beloved spot for hikers and nature lovers alike. The waterfall is accessible via a well-marked walking trail that begins in the village of Iberian, offering visitors picturesque views of the valley below. The area is renowned for its tranquil beauty, drawing those seeking both adventure and peace. Photographers often flock here, especially during the winter months or after heavy rainfall, when the flow of water is at its peak. However, beneath the beauty of Aber Falls lies an eerie tale, one that locals whisper about on quiet evenings when the mist rolls in from the mountains and shrouds the waterfall in mystery. It's said that many years ago, a young woman named Helene lived in a small cottage near the falls. Ellen was known for her kind heart and warm smile, but she carried a deep sorrow. Her child, a beautiful baby girl, had vanished without a trace one stormy night. Despite searching high and low, Ellen never found her daughter, and her grief consumed her. Legend has it that on certain nights, when the full moon rises over the mountains and the wind howls through the trees, Ellen's spirit can still be seen near the waterfall, her face twisted in despair, her eyes constantly scanning the dark waters. Some say that her tears have flowed into the very river that feeds the falls, forever intertwining her grief with the water that crashes down into the pool below. On these nights, the sound of the waterfall can take on an eerie, sorrowful tone, as if it is mourning with her. Those brave enough to venture to Aber Falls after sunset report hearing the soft cry of a woman, carried on the wind, mingling with the roar of the water. Some believe that Ellen's tears have the power to bring a sense of melancholy to anyone who visits during these hours. But others, especially those who know the old stories, are convinced that if you listen closely enough, you might hear Ellen's mournful plea. "Return to me, my child, for I have wept for you long enough." Though the waterfall is a stunning natural wonder, the legend of Ellen serves as a reminder of the depths of grief and the unrelenting power of a mother's love. It is said that sometimes visitors feel an inexplicable sadness when they stand at the base of the falls, as though the water carries with it the weight of a mother's eternal sorrow. Rhyl is a charming seaside town located on the North Wales coast at the mouth of the River Clwyd. Bordered by Kinmel Bay to the west and Prestatyn to the east, this picturesque town has long been known for its stunning coastal views and Victorian heritage. Once a prosperous resort during the Victorian era, Rhyl went through a period of decline in the late 20th century. However, with significant regeneration projects in recent years, the town has found new life, attracting visitors once again with its combination of historical charm and modern attractions. Despite its transformation into a vibrant tourist destination, there's an eerie legend that has lingered for centuries, casting a shadow over the town. The legend tells the chilling story of the Wraith of Rhyl, a ghostly figure said to haunt the shores of the River Clwyd and the quiet streets of the town. It is said that long ago, during a violent storm, a young woman named Eliza lived in a small cottage near the river. Eliza was known for her beauty and her kind nature, and she was deeply in love with a fisherman who often ventured out to sea. One night, as a storm raged violently, Eliza waited anxiously for her lover's return. Hours passed, and the storm worsened. Desperate, she went to the riverbank, gazing into the tumultuous waters, hoping to see his boat. But the waves swallowed the river whole, and no sign of her beloved appeared. At the break of dawn, the storm subsided and the sun began to rise. Eliza returned to her cottage, heartbroken and filled with dread. When she reached the shore, she found the body of her lover, washed ashore, lifeless. She cried out in despair, and in her grief, she threw herself into the very waters that had claimed him. Legend has it that Eliza's spirit never left the town. On stormy nights, when the wind howls through the trees and the rain falls relentlessly, locals claim to see a shadowy figure on the riverbank. Her face, pale and forlorn, is said to be illuminated by the faint light of the moon, her eyes eternally searching the waters for her lost lover. And in the dead of night, the mournful sound of her cries can still be heard drifting across the town, echoing through the quiet streets like a ghostly wail. But the most chilling part of the legend is this. It is said that anyone who stands at the edge of the river during a storm and calls her name will be cursed. The curse binds the caller to the waters, and within a year, they will suffer a tragic fate, either drowning in the river or disappearing during a storm, their bodies never to be found. The townspeople whisper that every year, on the anniversary of Eliza's death, there are strange disappearances. Those who visit the riverbank at night, in search of the spirit or out of curiosity, are often never seen again. Some believe that Eliza's soul is searching for someone to join her in her eternal sorrow, and she will stop at nothing to claim her next victim. Anglesey, an island on the northwest coast of Wales, is a place that seems to exist outside of time. Known for its stunning natural beauty, from the rugged cliffs and lush landscapes to the serene beaches and clear coastal waters, it is a popular destination for both history lovers and outdoor enthusiasts. However, beneath this calm exterior lies a web of mysterious stories and unsettling occurrences that have made Anglesey more than just an island. It is a place that holds secrets. But despite its historical significance and its cultural importance, Anglesey boasts the second highest percentage of Welsh speakers in Wales. There is an eerie, unsettling quality about the island, especially as night falls. It is as if the island's quiet beauty hides something darker, something that lingers just out of reach. One of the most mysterious places on Anglesey is Bryncelli Dhu, a Neolithic passage tomb that has stood for thousands of years. The tomb, with its carefully aligned passageways, is thought to have been built to mark the summer solstice, as the sun shines through the entrance and illuminates the burial chamber. While archaeologists have studied this ancient site for centuries, there are still many unanswered questions. The air around the tomb is thick with the sense that it was not merely a burial site, but a place of deep spiritual significance. Visitors report feeling an inexplicable chill when standing at the entrance, as if they are being watched by unseen eyes. Some even claim to hear faint whispers carried on the wind, voices from the distant past calling from within the tomb itself. But Bryn Celli Du is not the only site on the island steeped in mystery. The Menai Strait. The waterway that separates Anglesey from mainland Wales has long been feared for its powerful currents and unpredictable tides. Before the Menai Suspension Bridge was built in the 19th century, the crossing was a treacherous and perilous journey. The waters claimed many lives over the centuries, and local fishermen still speak of strange occurrences: ships that vanish without a trace, ghostly figures seen on the shores at night, and the haunting sound of bells tolling beneath the waves. Some believe that the spirits of those lost in the straits still linger, guarding the waters and ensuring that others will join them in the depths. Perhaps the most chilling story from Anglesey comes from the small Llandwyn Island, located off the coast near the town of Newborough. Known as the Island of Love, it is famous for its connection to the Welsh patron saint of lovers, Saint Dwynwen. According to legend, Dwynwen was a beautiful princess who fell in love with a man named Malin. However, her father, the king, forbade the union, and Dwynwen was heartbroken. In her grief, she prayed to God to forget her love, and God granted her wish, turning Malin into ice. Dwynwen then dedicated her life to helping lovers, and her island became a pilgrimage site. Llandudno is a charming seaside town on the Cruden Peninsula in North Wales, known for its picturesque landscapes, Victorian architecture, and rich history. Often referred to as the Queen of Welsh Resorts, it stretches into the Irish Sea, offering stunning views of the surrounding mountains and coastline. The town's name, derived from Saint Tudno, reflects its deep historical and religious roots. With prehistoric settlements dating back to the Bronze and Iron Ages, Llandudno has been a destination for centuries. The town's recorded history began in 1284, when King Edward I granted the manor of Garth to Annan, Bishop of Bangor. Today, it continues to captivate visitors with its mix of culture, history, and breathtaking scenery. Tourists can explore the Great Orme for panoramic views, enjoy the Victorian Pier, or simply relax by the sea. But there's an unsettling side to Llandudno that few are brave enough to speak of. One cold evening, as the fog rolled in and the streets grew quiet, Peter, a local man, was making his way home after work. He walked past the old Victorian pier, where a mysterious figure stood motionless, watching the sea. Curiosity pulled him closer, but the figure suddenly vanished into the mist. Shaken, Peter continued his walk toward the base of the Great Orme, where the whispers of the wind grew louder and a cold chill seeped into his bones. As he climbed the steep path to investigate a flickering light, he was drawn to an old, forgotten cave where the silence was suffocating. Inside, the air grew heavy, and Peter could hear the echo of footsteps. Turning around, he saw a shadowy figure emerging from the darkness. The figure's hollow eyes locked onto his, and a voice filled his mind. "Leave this place, for you are not meant to see what lies beneath." Terrified, Peter stumbled backward, but the figure disappeared, leaving only the oppressive darkness behind. As he rushed back down the Orme, the fog lifted, and by the time he reached the town, it had mysteriously cleared. What Peter didn't know was that Llandudno held a dark secret, an ancient forgotten place where souls, trapped by tragedy, still lingered. The figure he saw was no mere ghost, but the spirit of a soul trapped in the mists of time, forever bound to the town. Those who wander too far into the fog or linger too long on the pier sometimes see strange sights or hear faint whispers, and the figure of the man can still be spotted on certain nights, searching for a way out. Llandudno, with all its beauty, hides a shadowy past that never truly disappears, and those who venture into its depths may find themselves lost to it forever. Barmouth Beach, located in the picturesque town of Barmouth, Gwynedd, is known for its breathtaking views of the Irish Sea and the towering Snowdonia Mountains. The golden sands and clear waters make it a perfect destination for families and beach lovers. Visitors can enjoy swimming, paddleboarding, and kite flying, while the promenade offers a lively atmosphere with cafes, shops, and amusements. However, beneath its tranquil surface, a dark and terrifying secret lies buried, a secret that has haunted the area for centuries. It all began one fateful night when a violent and inexplicable storm descended upon the coastal town. The winds howled and the sea roared as waves crashed violently against the cliffs. The villagers, helpless against the fury of nature, watched in horror as their homes and livelihoods were consumed by the relentless tide. By morning, Dyfed was gone, swallowed whole by the sea. No trace of the village remained, only the crashing waves and the eerie silence that followed. But the legend of Dyfed didn't end with its destruction. For years, the locals whispered of strange occurrences that followed the sinking of the village. Fishermen claimed to have heard disembodied voices on the wind, faint cries of help that seemed to come from deep beneath the waters. Some even reported seeing figures in the mist, shadowy forms that seemed to move along the shore, watching them with hollow eyes. These figures were never close enough to identify, but their presence was always felt, as if the souls of the villagers had not gone peacefully into the night. The most terrifying reports came from those who dared to venture into the waters themselves. Divers and sailors over the years spoke of strange sightings beneath the surface, remnants of buildings, stone foundations, and eerie carvings that appeared to be part of the lost village. There were even stories of divers disappearing, never to return. Some claimed that they had seen the village of Dyfed, not destroyed, but perfectly preserved, waiting at the bottom of the sea, as if frozen in time, hidden from the world above. The local fishermen who dared to brave the waters around Barmouth would tell chilling stories of their own encounters. They spoke of seeing glowing lights beneath the surface, leading them to believe that the spirits of the villagers were still trapped there, calling out to them, luring them into the water. One sailor, who had been on the sea during one particularly stormy night, claimed to have seen the ghostly figures of the villagers standing on the ocean floor, just beyond the reach of his boat. He swore they were waiting, staring up at him with eyes filled with sorrow, as if they were still longing for their lost village. The most chilling story of all comes from a man who once tried to dive down to the sunken village, believing he could uncover its secrets. He descended into the cold, dark water, his heart pounding as he made his way deeper into the depths. As he reached the bottom, he saw it, a perfectly preserved village with its houses, streets, and even the faint outline of the docks. But something was wrong. The air grew cold, and the water seemed to pull at him, as if something was trying to drag him down into the depths. He saw a shadow move among the buildings, a figure with pale, ghostly skin and hollow eyes. The man turned to flee, but as he swam upwards, he could feel the presence closing in behind him. When he surfaced, gasping for air, he was never the same. He couldn't speak of what he saw, and eventually he was found wandering the shores, mumbling incoherently about the souls of the drowned villagers still watching from beneath the waves. The Llyn Peninsula, located in Gwynedd, North Wales, is a place of remarkable natural beauty and historical significance. Spanning an impressive 150 square miles and extending 30 miles into the Irish Sea, it forms the northern edge of the tranquil and scenic Traeth Bay. Historically part of the Kingdom of Gwynedd, the peninsula's isolation has helped preserve its unique heritage, making it a treasured destination for those seeking to experience the authentic culture of Wales. Once known as the Kingdom of Caernarfon, the Llyn Peninsula is rich in Welsh language, tradition, and folklore. Its rugged landscapes, with sweeping views of the sea and dramatic coastal cliffs, provide a stunning backdrop for the stories of old. The area's remote location has contributed to the preservation of its culture, keeping it steeped in ancient legends, one of which involves the story of a forgotten god and his lost love. The story begins with the legend of Lear, a god of the sea and storms, whose heart was captured by a mortal woman from the peninsula. The woman, named Ceridwen, was known for her beauty and wisdom, and her soul was as wild and untamed as the winds that whipped across the cliffs of the Lan Peninsula. Their love was a tempestuous one, as both Lear and Ceridwen were creatures of the elements, neither able to be fully tamed nor bound by the laws of mortals. For a time, they were inseparable, their spirits dancing in harmony with the crashing waves and the howling winds. The gods of the sea and sky often called Lear to their side, but he always returned to Ceridwen, the only mortal who could calm the storm in his heart. Together, they would walk the beaches of the Lin Peninsula, where the sea met the land, and speak in the ancient language of the earth. However, as with all great loves in the realm of gods and mortals, tragedy loomed on the horizon. Ceridwen, despite her wisdom and strength, was fated to be torn from Lear's embrace. One fateful evening, as the two stood on the cliffs overlooking Treth Bay, a great tempest rose from the depths of the sea, summoned by the jealous gods who could not bear the thought of Lear's heart belonging to a mortal. In the midst of the storm, Ceridwen was taken by the wind, swept away into the depths of the sea, never to be seen again. Heartbroken and lost, Lear wandered the shores of the Lin Peninsula for centuries, calling out to Ceridwen, hoping to reunite with her once more. The winds still carry his sorrow, and the crashing waves of Treth Bay are said to echo his cries. Some believe that on certain nights, when the moon is full and the tide is high, you can hear the distant sound of Lear's voice calling out to his lost love. The gods, too, could not erase his memory, for his grief has become woven into the very fabric of the land. The Prince of Wales Bridge, also known as the Second Severn Crossing, stands as an iconic symbol of connectivity between Wales and England. Spanning across the Severn estuary, it links South Gloucestershire in England with Monmouthshire in Wales and has become a crucial part of the region's infrastructure since its opening on June 5, 1996, by Prince Charles, the then Prince of Wales. With a sleek cable-stayed design, the bridge rises elegantly above the river, its two towering pylons reaching 149 meters into the sky. Constructed from steel and concrete, it was designed to withstand the region's fierce tidal flows and harsh weather conditions. At approximately 5.1 kilometers long, the bridge was built to alleviate the heavy traffic congestion that had plagued the older Severn Bridge, thus enhancing trade and travel between Wales and England and boosting the economic connectivity of the two regions. However, despite its status as a marvel of modern engineering and a symbol of progress, the Prince of Wales Bridge is not without its dark memories. One fateful evening in the early 2000s, a tragic accident occurred on the bridge, leaving scars on the collective memory of the people who witnessed it and those affected by it. On a stormy night in November, heavy rain and strong winds lashed the bridge. Traffic was moving slower than usual, with visibility almost reduced to nothing in some places due to the relentless downpour. It was around 8:30 p.m. when the first signs of disaster struck. A truck, its brakes failing in the treacherous conditions, skidded on the slick surface and collided with a car in front. The impact sent both vehicles spinning uncontrollably, while other cars, unable to stop in time, collided into the wreckage, creating a horrific pileup that stretched for over 100 meters. Emergency services rushed to the scene, but the severity of the crash and the chaotic conditions of the bridge made rescue operations extraordinarily difficult. As rescue teams fought against the rain and the thick fog, the situation on the bridge grew more desperate. Several vehicles had been engulfed in flames, while others were trapped between the twisted wreckage. The screams of the victims echoed through the downpour, and the rain only seemed to worsen, making the rescue even more dangerous. By the time the chaos had subsided, over 30 vehicles had been involved in the pileup, and at least 15 people had lost their lives, with many others suffering serious injuries. The tragedy not only shocked the nation, but also highlighted the risks of driving across the bridge during extreme weather conditions. In the aftermath, memorials were erected in memory of the victims, and a permanent tribute was created on the bridge to honor the lives lost that night. Though the Prince of Wales Bridge continued to serve as a vital link between the two countries, the accident became a somber reminder of the dangers that can arise on even the most well-engineered structures. The incident led to new safety measures being implemented, including better road signage, increased patrols, and enhanced warning systems for drivers, particularly during adverse weather conditions.